Very good. So prior to our meeting starting this evening, we do have an invocation. So I'd invite up Pastor Seth Hebner from Faith Lutheran.
Invite you for prayer. Heavenly Father, great are you, Lord, for you are abundant in power. Your understanding is beyond measure. Tonight I lift up in prayer our mayor and every member of the city council. You have entrusted them with decisions for the care of the citizens of Watertown. Give them understanding tonight as they discuss various resolutions and ordinances. They also lift up the city employees who will be recognized tonight. I thank you for their dedication and that they have displayed throughout their many years of work. I also pray that keep citizens of Watertown warm during these cold January days and nights. Lord, also help us to serve one another. In your Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. All right, it is 7:01, so I'm going to call to order our Tuesday, January 21st Common Council meeting. Megan, would you please take the roll?
Davis. Here. Lambie. Ford. Bart.
Here.
Lanke. Here. Smith.
Here.
Schmid.
Here.
Wetzel. Boldenhauer.
Here.
I'm going to turn him up a little bit. Very good. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item on our agenda is the minutes of the council meeting from January 7th. Anybody have any comments or questions on those minutes? All right. Now we have an opportunity for comments from citizens present. Megan, do you have anybody? Okay. I'm looking at it remote. It looks like our city team and the Daily Times and Alder Moldenhauer. We do have another opportunity at the end of our meeting for public comment. So let's move then to reports. You all have the Finance Committee minutes from December 9th, Senior Center Advisory Board from December 10th, Park Rec and Forestry from December 16th, Finance from December 17th, the RDA from December 18th, Town Square Programming Commission from December 18th, and the Finance Committee from December 23rd. Comments, Ms. Davis?
I wanted to draw our attention to item F, Town Square Programming Commission minutes from December 18th. If you look at those, item B there says, item 5, the business, letter A says Town Square Improvement Group. And it says Dave and Jody working together on the improvement group, work on a 501c3, Dave, accountant to work on the financials. Then it goes on to discuss what it should be called. Brian offered to help Dave with the 501c3, and then Brian can get it, go back to the original members. So I had a question because the individuals named here at the time of this meeting were Town Square Commission members, so members of the commission. And so as someone who does meeting notes, I know it is very, very difficult to get all of the context of a robust conversation condensed to the meeting notes. And so my question was, it would appear from the meeting notes that these commission members are working together to develop a 501c3. So Christine answered my question on this, and I don't know, Christine, if you wanted to respond and just explain a little bit more.
Sure. Hi, thank you. The 501c3 was brought up because of the fundraising portion of trying to find sponsorships and donations and things like that for the town square to continue. So that was brought up, and it was an idea between Jody and Dave, and it was an idea that had been brought up probably about a year ago. And so it's just something between people. It's not the entire committee. It is really just a few people that thought that it might be a good idea. There's nothing in the works as of right now that I'm aware of. So it was just basically in the conversation of fundraising.
All right, thank you so much for that clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I would just say, in terms of clarity on the minutes, we may just want to either go with last names in the notes there. I think those of us who know some of the individuals know who Brian is, know who Dave is, but aren't necessarily sure which last names they hook up to in the call for order.
Yep, that's a good idea. Christine, can you just make sure that adjustment's made, please?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Anybody else on any of the reports? All right then. Let's move to communications and recommendations. We do have some employee recognitions this evening. So I want to acknowledge first our city team members that couldn't join us this evening. With 25 years at Public Works in the Water Division is Steve Natz. 15 years with the Police Department is Ryan Abbott. And then also celebrating 10 years with the Police Department is Luke Hensley. Obviously, we're very thankful to each of them and their willingness to serve the city for as long as they have. It's really incredible. We do have another person to acknowledge under years of service. So I'm going to invite up Stacy and Bruce. Bruce Williams has worked in Public Works, Street and Solid Waste Division for 25 years. And so we're grateful he could join us this evening and hear from he and Stacy. Give it a sound. Let's see. Yep.
Short. Okay. 25 years is certainly an accomplishment. Bruce has been an important part of many street construction projects over his years. He has great knowledge in the dig out and graveling back for pavement, as well as the storm sewer side of things. He has been on countless catch basin repairs throughout the city and been a part of installing and replacing storm sewers as well. He assists with fall leaf collection, often training new employees, helping them learn the routes and how to run the machines. Bruce helps to maintain our yard waste site throughout the year, hauling items out, pushing up the piles, and keeping the site ready for the public when it's open. He has also done his fair share of roadside mowing during the summer months as well, even though he teases that he doesn't like that assignment because we have the wrong color tractor. Bruce has a salting and plowing route in the central area out to the west side of the city, and his dedication over the years has helped keep our streets safe year after year. I do recall one winter way back when we used to get a lot more snow and it wasn't just cold. It was one of the worst storms we've had, and Bruce, who lives just north of the city, drove his tractor to work so he could make it in to plow. Now that's dedication. No matter what the project or task is, Bruce has the know-how to get it done. He is a valuable part of our team, and it is an honor to congratulate him for his 25 years of service.
There, Evan's going to take a picture of you too quick. Stacey, you can stay up. Bruce, do you want to say anything? Oh, I was like, you're kind of hanging around. I didn't know. Thank you, Bruce. All right. Also under this section tonight is to recognize the retirement of Carl Schuett. Mr. Schuett, if you want to make your way up, and while you do, I'm just so grateful to be able to be the person that gets to call this item on the agenda. I've known, I think I still called him Mr. Schuett the entire time. I've had the pleasure of working with him because I've known him since I was like 6 years old. So just such an incredible item to be able to call before this group tonight. And I think a really incredible testament to what it means to really serve bigger than yourself. And it's rare that we get the opportunity to acknowledge people that give their entire career to their community. So I'm really grateful for it. So go ahead, Stacey.
So on that same note, I had a write-up, 2 months ago for your 30 years of service, so I didn't want to repeat everything I said then, but it is pretty rare anymore for someone to have a 30-plus year career with the same employer. The City of Watertown is very fortunate that Carl had that with us. His career with the Public Works Department is one I hope other employees strive to mimic. He was an integral part of our stormwater infrastructure, did an amazing job winter after winter keeping our streets safe. He's collected solid waste and recycling and jumped in anywhere he was needed. Carly truly could do anything that was asked of him, and he did it all well. It was an honor to work with Carl all these years, and he should be very proud of his career. On behalf of our team, we wish you a long, relaxing, and well-deserved retirement.
Stacey, do you want to read what's on there?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Sorry for the fun thing. That's okay.
So, and then he has a Distinguished Service Award presented to Carl Schuett, Specialized Maintenance Light Equipment Operator, in recognition of your 30 years of dedicated service to the City of Watertown and its residents.
Oh, Mr. Shuett, hold the phone. Yep, I think we've got it. We'll take a picture with you and Stacy, and then I mean, a lot of your family's here this evening. I think it would be appropriate for a family photo, Mr. Shuett. You want that? You can take it out there. Okay. All right, Evan, you can get ours then.
3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. You don't want the mic?
I do want the mic.
Oh no, I meant Mr. Shuett. I didn't know if he wanted the mic. I know sound people always want the mic, but all right, very good. For those of you that came for those recognitions, it's totally normal for people to leave, but you're obviously welcome to stay as well. I just like to give people the out, you know. You never know. Oh, yep, there we go. Thank you guys. Okay, as those folks are exiting the room, we do have a couple other items under communication and recommendations. The first is the fire department November monthly report. Anybody have any questions? I can give back to the chief. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to thank the chief for the re-edition, I think, on page 21, where she shows the zone calls. I think that was requested at a previous council meeting.
It was, and I have seen some of the preliminary data that will come out of our new system, and her excitement is warranted. There's a lot of nice data we'll be able to pull out from there and just continue to improve our services. So this report will begin to look a little bit different in the coming months. We also have the 2024 Building Safety and Zoning Annual Report. Brian is on remotely. If anyone is interested in any comments or questions on this one. Ms. Davis?
I just wanted to thank Brian for this report. It's really interesting to look it over, lots of really good data. So I'm appreciative for the hard work that went into pulling it together.
Thank you. Anybody else on that item? All right, and then next is the 2023 Park, Rec, and Forestry Annual Report. You are not reading that wrong. It is indeed from 2023. Brian's annual report might be the earliest I've ever seen one for a preceding year, so bravo to Brian. Christine is remote. If anyone has any questions on this one for Christine. Yes, ma'am.
So I actually didn't catch that. It's 2023.
Yeah.
Well, that answers my questions.
There you go.
I was going to say there's no mention of the park restroom being built.
Yeah. Yeah, this one got caught up in my inbox for a little bit, so I'll take the blame on that. All right, very good. Okay, then last item under communications and recommendations is an update on the bridge. So, if you haven't seen the recent updates that we posted just today, the bridge girder delivery that was supposed to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is now being switched to just Thursday and Friday of this week. The conditions were such today that the piece of equipment that needed to start in order to load the girders wouldn't start. It was just too cold. So what was going to be done on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is now, we're now being told by ZTI will be done on Thursday and Friday. So what you'll see is it looks like a schedule from about 9:30 to 12:45 on Thursday and 9:30 till about 11 on Friday. So things are extended both ways depending upon the day we're referring to for those girder deliveries. After the girders arrive, the next kind of major pieces of work will be road work preparation on the east side of the bridge arch settings, and then the bridge decking will all follow the girder placement. So we'll continue to see some more recognizable items appearing on the site as soon as those girders actually arrive in this city. So we had a meeting earlier today with DOT. Andrew and I did. We have another meeting with them tomorrow, and we're looking to schedule another meeting just with myself, DOT, and a representative of ZTI, just to make sure we're all aligned as we come into this hopefully final couple of months or so. Don't read into that. I didn't actually time out if it's a couple, so no one run with that. Just as we come into kind of this last little bit of time here on the bridge. So long and short, the bridge is still happening multiple times a week, most of the time, multiple times a day. But hopefully we have some girders arriving Thursday, Friday. Any questions, comments? All right. Okay then, let's move to new business. Our only action item here is some committee appointments for your consideration. That I need a motion on. Yep.
I move to appoint all 4 of the listed committee members to the 4 different committees they're listed under.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lampy. Second by Mr. Board. Any questions or comments from anyone? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Very good. Let's move to miscellaneous business. You have the payroll summary from December 11th to December 24th, and then the 25th to January 7th. Anyone have questions or comments on that for Mark? All right, next then is the paid invoices report. Any questions on that one? Yes, ma'am.
So in this particular invoices report, there were a lot for reimbursement for property taxes or overpayment. And I was curious to know the circumstances that results in overpayment of property taxes.
Yes, any time you see large amounts, it's a matter of timing that the parcel owner probably is looking to make sure that a payment is made before the end of the tax year for their personal taxes. And so we'll frequently have individuals that make payment in full with the assurance that they know that the payment's been made. But what might happen is that their escrow company has a check issued. It's amazing to me, literally in the last 2 business days of our calendar year, we receipted and deposited over $10 million. So it all comes, but it all comes right at the end of the year as those companies produce those checks, trying to accumulate as many of their customers as possible. So most of the time, when you see the overpayments that are sizable, the family has literally paid the full bill, and then the escrow company has as well. If you see smaller ones, it's naturally that the escrow company has made a payment. Maybe they didn't exclude the lottery credit or something of that nature. So a lot of them that are $175 this year, that's what it's for.
All right, thank you. Good question. Any other questions on that item? All right, then you all have the cash and investment report from December 31st. Any questions for Mark on that one? Okay, let's go to ordinances then. The first is ordinance 25-01. This is to adopt a planned unit development, general development plan under section 550-152 for area CB of the Blinsky Hunter Oaks development. This is from me and the Plan Commission on its first reading.
I'll move for ordinance 2501.
Thank you, sir. Motion by Blanky, second by Bartz. Any questions or comments on this one? Megan?
Blanky,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Schmid, Wetzel, Moldenhauer,
Aye.
Davis, Lampy, Ford,
Aye.
Bartz. Motion passed 9-0.
Thank you, Megan. Next is ordinance 25-02. This is to amend the city code to reflect departmental changes. This is here from Mr. Board and Public Works on its first reading.
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Board, second by Mr. Wetzel. Any questions or comments? Yes.
I'd just be interested in a quick summary about the change from department to division and some of the other changes in roles.
I'm happy to answer that. So this is more catching up. We made that change from department to division 3 years ago. So we actually had a different, just a different set of eyes. Was it Brian that brought it up? Yeah, and so it's mainly housekeeping from items that were changed 3 years ago. Good question. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
So, no real administration functional change, because I'm looking at the list of inspectors and some of the qualification changes. They're now, some of them are removed and the qualifications are going certified through the state independently. Is that an operational change or a state change in regards to compliance?
Brian, do you want to answer that one?
Can you tell me what page you're looking at?
Yeah, we'll start with page, it's 104 in the packet, specifically the list, section 3.
That's what I thought you were looking at. So Brian, what he's looking at is the change from like electrical inspector, plumbing inspector. So for that one, is that what you're looking at? Okay, so for that one in particular, we just changed it generally to assistant building inspector because sometimes that person, depending upon the qualifications you have, you could be one of those things, you could be two of those things. So rather than having essentially just different position descriptions, rather than calling you, for example, both the electrical and plumbing inspector, we can just call you the assistant building inspector.
Okay. So along with that, then, under the qualifications of the specific ones, some of the changes are required to be certified through the Wisconsin Department of Safety and Professional Services, or just the state of Wisconsin specifically. Are those technical licensing or just a certification course under electrical and plumbing?
Those are certifications. Those are certifications that are required for the to perform those functions today.
Through DSPS.
So-
Is that right, Brian?
Yes. So the language that was in there is kind of outdated, and so we just updated it to the current certifications.
Is that like a distance learning course or a class that they have to go to in order to get certified?
It's a test they have to take through the state, and they have to pass it at, I believe, a 70% passing rate to become certified.
Okay, so it's just a simple test that they can take through a portal.
Yes.
I think simple
Or in
maybe.
person. Yeah, it's not simple, but it's
It's a challenging
test
test that
take.
they can simply take.
Well, I didn't say it was easy, I just said it was simple. As
Yeah.
opposed to having to be certified as a master electrician or a master plumber.
Yeah, no,
That's what I was getting
it's
at.
a test you have to pass.
Okay.
Yes, yep. Any other questions on this one? Good questions. All right, Megan.
Ford.
Aye.
Bartz. Blanky.
Aye.
Smith. Schmid.
Aye.
Wetzel. Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Lampy. Motion passed 9-0.
Thank you. Let's move to resolutions. The first is Exhibit 9573. This is a resolution to enter into an agreement with Jefferson County Register of Deeds for the return of recorded instruments in electronic format. This is here from me and the Finance Committee.
I would so move.
Oh, motion by Mr. Moldenhauer, second by Ms. Davis. Comments or questions for the clerk? Yes.
Yeah, clarify what this is for specifically.
Megan, you want to answer that one?
So right now, the county mails us back our recorded documents, and they are simply asking to have them allow us to receive them via email.
So then, that'll still count as an official certified hard copy then, or will it still have to be stamped and certified by notary? Since it's
It will be
restricted
stamped.
deeds? Okay, so we still have to print it off on our end, it just saves the postage.
We will transfer to our electronic filing system.
Is it stamped before it gets scanned in?
Yes.
So it gets stamped at the Register of Deeds, and rather than mail that to us, they scan that to us? Is that the
Correct.
process?
Yep.
They would still retain the physical copy?
They will destroy the physical copy, and the electronic copy will be the original.
Okay, I have concerns about that because some agencies won't take a printed off copy unless it's a certified original. And by destroying the original, that complicates that issue. I don't know if it specifically relates to deeds, but in regards to other documentations for government agencies, I have serious concerns over that process.
I do
So
not
we
know.
send them the original. So they would be the agency that would request the original.
But then they would destroy it.
Then the electronic version becomes the original.
Anything electronic can be modified. I can't support that. That's just too many problems in regards to deed tracking and certifications and modifications of deeds. That's a bad idea.
Stephen, do you have anything on that?
The state statutes does allow for the Register of Deeds office to convert original documents into electronic files or to receive deeds electronically. Ultimately, as far as any organization requiring a physical copy of an original certificate, those would be able to be obtained by either the Register of Deeds certifying a record that they would print out and then confirm that this matches the file and record that they have on file. Alternatively, the city clerk would be able to certify any record that the city maintains. So once we've received that electronic copy back, the city clerk would be able to certify that that is an original copy of the file. And under state statutes, that would be acceptable.
Mr. Lampy?
I was just going to add on that specific references to those state statutes appear on page 125 of the packet, on the references that were provided.
Thank you. Ms. Davis?
I have a memory that if we wanted a hard copy, they're going to charge a fee now? Did I vaguely remember that being part of the discussion.
They just won't return it. We would have to pick it up, or we would have to provide postage back.
Yes.
One of my big concerns is these are people's these are deeds to properties. And there's already tons of issues in regards to deed property security, and now we're putting it 100% in a digital format. I have great concerns in regards to digital security and the safety of these servers, whether they're standalone or not. The way the government has done hacking and documentation, specifically deeds to properties right now, the fact that we're even considering this terrifies me. Because we're taking a physical copy to a physical building and making it 100% digital, and we're supposed to be okay with that. I'm not okay with that. Most of my residents I don't think would be okay with that. I can't support this because there's nothing in here that prevents that from happening, so.
Do you have
So
something to
we don't, it's not deeds to houses, it's,
like CUPs?
yep, conditional uses, easements, vacation notices, things like that. We don't do house deeds.
To clarify, the Register of Deeds is doing this for all deed records. So this is a decision the county has made. We don't have any input on that aspect of it. This is just saying that for any deeds or any documents the city submits to the Register of Deeds for recording, those are documents that the Register of Deeds is not going to maintain the originals of. They'll stamp them, they'll scan them into their system, and then they're going to destroy them, and they're wanting permission to email them back. They don't technically need this type of agreement for them to be able to do that. It's provided for by state statute that they can do that. They're trying to take advantage of a provision of the state statute that says that the city and the county can reach an agreement on how they're going to transfer those records. And so that's what this agreement is just certifying and clarifying what that process and procedure is going to be between the two organizations.
Thank you. Anybody else want to comment on this one? All right. Megan?
Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Davis. Aye. Lampy. Board. Bartz. Blanky.
Aye.
Smith. Schmid.
No.
Wetzel. Motion passed 8-1.
Very good. Our next item is Exhibit 9574. This is a resolution to approve the contract for county library services with Jefferson County. This is here from Mr. Wetzel and the Library Board of Trustees. Motion by Wetzel, second by Mr. Lampy. Questions or comments on this one? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Very good. Let's go to Exhibit 9575. This is a resolution to purchase the solar array system from Eagle Point Solar for the Water Systems Wastewater Division. This is here from Mr. Board and Public Works.
I'll move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Board, second by Mr. Bartz. Any questions or comments? Yes.
We get a history of why and where the money is to maintain it, and why is there only a 5-year warranty.
Pete, let's start with history.
The history goes back well over a year and a half to 2 years when the wastewater division was exploring alternative uses for the biogas, the methane gas from the anaerobic system. Revisited the gas and submitted an application to the Department of Energy for a grant on the gas, and they awarded us funding up to $300,000 or half of the project amount, maximum $300,000 for a solar array system for energy independence. That grant went through Public Works and the Finance Committee and was approved to accept the grant. We then hired Mead Hunt to put forward a proposal and a bid package for a solar array project. That was also approved through Public Works, and we ended up opening the bids in December, and we are here now through Public Works with this recommendation to award the solar array project. I think I missed one part of your question,
The
Mr.
next
Schmidt.
question was around the budget. I had the 5-year warranty and then the budget to maintain it.
Okay, the budget to maintain becomes part of our operational expenses. The 5-year warranty, that's one part of it, the inverters, and we have asked for an extended warranty. We are waiting to see what that is, to extend that to 15 years. The panels themselves have a 25-year warranty, workmanship warranty. The installation is 15-year. So the inverters are the item of concern where we are asking for an extended warranty. That would be something, depending on how much that is, will be brought back to the Public Works Commission. That doesn't impact the award of this project overall right now. That is before you. So operational expenses get rolled into our annual expense. We don't anticipate a lot of expenses with the system once it is installed. It is generating electricity and it comes into our internal grid. It does not leave the wastewater treatment complex. We consume so much electricity on site that we are going to use everything that is being produced right there on site.
Yeah, so I don't want to speak out of school because this is not my gig, but I know when I asked similar questions leading up to this, it was in order to essentially offset the cost of running the dryer, Pete?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
There is another component to this. The whole project started to pursue a dryer. The award for the solar ended up being something we pursued, and the electricity generated from the solar array will be offsetting the anticipated electricity needed to run the biosolids dryer.
So that expense, to your question about operational expenses, will be we'll be using the electricity from the solar array to run a dryer. And that is then allowing us to not have to budget for the increased electrical cost to run the dryer. So there's some operational. I know your opinions on solar panels. You're welcome to share them again. But I just wanted to share, like, from an operational perspective, that was, we hired folks to evaluate that so that we made sure that we weren't just adding, a flashy thing. We were adding something that would reduce our cost to increase the technology, being the dryer, that we need to increase in order to meet requirements for the removal of contaminants in order to spread our biosolids and get rid of our sludge and all those items we're now required to meet from the DNR. So.
Correct, yes,
Yeah.
and there's a multifaceted savings with the dryer and the solar running the dryer kind of concept. The less we have to get rid of, the less it costs us on the end to get rid of the biosolids. And the useful life of things in the wastewater world is 15 to 20 years for all of our equipment and process things. So this fits right in with our long-term planning on capital investments, on a system, on a process that has a 15 to 20-year life expectancy.
Did you want to add to that?
So with that, Pete, then, is the ROI on this going to be a net wash, or is there any benefit to us at all? Because my concern at the end of this is even at a net wash, we still have a bunch of things that we can't recycle.
We were less than 10 years. I want to say we were at 7.5 to 8 years on payback on our investment. Again, the total cost is offset by incentives and a grant. So the budget included $300,000 for the system. We anticipate once the dryer is installed and the electricity needed to run the dryer will increase, well, if we weren't to add the solar, would increase our electrical budget by about 1/3. And we're at $25,000 to $30,000 a month on electricity that we pay for the wastewater treatment plant complex.
So I guess to follow up with that then, once you hit that break-even point where it's paid for itself, is there enough cost savings in the remaining year of useful life of the product to pay for its replacement when it has to be replaced in 15 years? If you're saying it's got
Yes, I believe so. If you take 10, so let's say we're 25 years for the panels, 15 years for the inverters. So about half of that. So we have, of the 15 years, let's go with the inverters, the lowest or the least amount of warranty, where we would be replacing the inverters before the panels. If we're paying off our electricity consumption in 7 years, we have 7.5, we have another 7.5 years of savings that would go towards paying this system off, that we would get, you know, our return on the investment. It's a good deal in my mind.
My concern is it's a good deal up front, but does it warrant the full price replacement on the back end without that grant? Because grants aren't a guarantee. Grants are just someone else's tax money.
This grant is guaranteed we're getting it. So
Well, on the
we
front end,
will
yes, and
have
then the
made
second time.
money on the investment by the end of the useful life of the system.
I mean, I guess my question is, will we have made enough money to replace it at full price without an additional grant in 15 years?
Perhaps yes, because we expect to get much more service out of the system if the panels are going to 25 years. The solar dryer that we're going to put in is going to have a 15 to 20 year life expectancy as well. So the panels will outlast that.
And then do we have
So
an
if we
estimate
get new
cost?
inverters at 15 years after the warranty period, you know, and the panels are 25-year warranty, we could expect to get 30, depending on, you know, well, there's a lot of factors involved. You can't, you know, predict the weather and things like that. That could damage the panels. But I do believe, yes, we will see our return on this investment, even without the grant.
Thank you, Pete.
But we are getting the grant. So if we want to replace this system in 25 years, perhaps there's a better system to put in place of it, and we won't be going with solar. We might be doing something else. I can't see that far down into the future.
Thanks, Pete. Yes, ma'am.
Or is there a hope that we will be able to sell some of that product that is dried? Or we don't know?
The biosolids, that's a whole nother discussion. Yes, potentially, possibly. If we make, which we will, that's what we spec this dryers for, is to make a Class A exceptional quality biosolids that could be sold. We look to be getting rid of it for free instead of paying a contractor to haul it away. We can visit that. Again, we would have to get a system to bag it and then market it and sell it. So that is a possibility, yes.
Yes, Mr. Blinky?
So Peter already answered one of my questions with the ROI. The only other one I had was, is the page 146, is that just a rendering of what they would look like? Or is that the anticipated placement of the solar array on the wastewater treatment plant?
That would be the anticipated placement, yes.
Thank
That
you.
will look pretty much what it's going to look like.
Thank you.
Yes.
Other questions for Pete? Megan?
Board.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Schmid.
No.
Wetzel.
Aye.
Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Davis. Lampy. Motion passed 8-1.
All right, thank you. Next is Exhibit 9576. This is a resolution for the 2024 write-off consideration. This is here from me and the Finance Committee. Ms. Davis?
To approve Exhibit 9576.
Thank you, ma'am. Second by Mr. Lampy. Any questions for Mark on this one? Big hitter here. Megan?
Davis. Lampy.
Aye.
Board. Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Schmid.
Aye.
Wetzel. Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Motion passed 9-0.
Very good. Our last exhibit then, our last resolution is Exhibit 9577. This is a resolution to recognize the retirement of Carl Schuett. This is here from me. Motion by Mr. Wetzel, second by
Second.
Mr. Blinky. Normally we would read these, but Mr. Schuett has left the building. So I told him he would be missing it. But obviously I think we are all very grateful for his 30 years of service. Does anyone have any comments they'd like to add? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? All right, we do have another opportunity for comments from citizens present. All right, seeing none, I would ask for a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Bartz, second by Mr. Board. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, thank you, everybody.